Although Ernest Greer grew up in St. Louis, Missouri, he has called Atlanta home for decades. After earning his undergraduate degree from Harvard University and his Juris Doctor from Northwestern University, he began his career in law here in Atlanta. As the head of one of the most successful law firms in the nation, his impact stretches far beyond the courtroom.
Well, first of all, when Ernest came to Atlanta, before he ever thought about making a mark on the city, he focused on being the best he could be. And he put his head down and he drove results in law firms and just made it happen. He did the same thing in the community. He put himself to the task of making Atlanta better and making his business better and making his community better.
Ernest has been my lawyer for at least 20 or 25 years. I can't even remember. But of course, he's one of the best lawyers in the country. He's always been available, and he's always given great advice. He's taken those same leadership skills and applied them in the corporate, the business world, and the legal world.
When I came to Atlanta, I felt that the opportunities were immense. It was just seeing a black middle class was something that I had never been exposed to. And I saw that in Atlanta, and I saw things in terms of what people were doing entrepreneurially in the black communities and things of that sort that I had never seen before in terms of business people who were successful.
He's been someone from the very beginning of my tenure as editor of the newspaper who I could go to for his insight on things in town, or his point of view, or his thoughts on something we ought to pursue as a story. And he's also never been shy about calling me when he thinks we ought to be doing a story, or he thinks we got a story wrong, or he thinks we should be doing a better job. So he's always been a friend and someone who's an extremely thoughtful and trustworthy source for me to understand Atlanta better.
I have always talked about race in Atlanta. If you look at those cities, the arts world causes them to face race and things of that sort. And Atlanta just really never wanted to face it because we had it good.
I think about the Center for Civil and Human Rights. When the opportunity came up to buy MLK's papers, and this was a chance for Atlanta, the home of the civil rights movement, to show this generation and future generations the power of transformation and change and progress and making lives better by building bridges over the racial divide. And having the papers here in Atlanta lets the next generation see how hard it was and how important it was in the detail to make things happen. Ernest got into the detail and he made it happen.
The impact that I want to have is that, quite frankly, as a black man who has had some success in the business community, that I faced the issue, I raised the issue, and I did it in a positive spirit so that we can become much better as a city, much better as a state. And I see the things that I have talked about and sort of counseled and tried to advise on, and the other challenging issues. I see institutions finally listening and moving towards those issues. And the great thing about it is that the race issue doesn't have to be a negative discussion. It can be a very empowering discussion. And I think that empowerment that we see today, I like to feel that I've been a part of it. As my wife and my wife was always a supporter of things and institutions, organizations, school, and things of that sort. She is and has always been a significant contributor. And I think very early on, it sort of hit me that was something that she expected of me and suspected of us by way of family. And though we didn't have much in the grand scheme of things for people who do philanthropy, we feel it is critically important that people of color contribute whatever they can contribute. We enjoy giving and we enjoy supporting because we quite frankly are enriched from doing it.
The lasting legacy that Ernest will have for Atlanta will be his advocacy for people who deserve opportunity. You really can't talk to him without seeing that and him bringing it up, at least in my experience with him.
Ernest, through and through, as good as he looks, as well as he dresses, as much as he's accomplished, and as much as he's made a difference in the lives of other people, he's still the same guy from the Midwest. He's loyal, he's dependable, and he comes through every single time.
When I look at the awardees of this particular award, these are some of the greatest people in Atlanta. And I think Ernest ranks right up there with them.
Ernest Greer is a laureate in the J.A. Atlanta Business Hall of Fame.